This is probably going to be the most revolutionary piece of camping gear to come out in 2025. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you need to have this in your pack. As you probably guessed by the thumbnail, this is about a sleep pad, and it is. But it is unlike any other sleep pad on the market. Now, Flextail, they've been around for a few years now. And when they first introduced the tiny pump, which was their sort of first foray into the camping market, a lot of people said it was mad to take something like that camping, basically, when you can simply use your mouth or a pump sack to blow up your bag. Yet, it has become one of the most popular selling and copied items in the backpacking community. Now, over time, they've developed this pump to a multi-function version, which included a lantern for your tent, as well as a pump. And let's face it, we all like multi-use gear. Plus some other versions for kayaks, boats, bikes, and on top of that, they've branched into pillows, head torches, and even mosquito repellents. Now, I've not tried their current sleep pad, but I've seen many good reviews on them, so they do look good. Now, if you've seen my review of the Zero pump from Flextail, you might call me a hypocrite later, but I will explain myself. Excuse the camera, it is blowing around like mad here. There's always a named storm whenever I go out. So this is the all-new Flextail R09 sleep pad with a mind-blowing 9.5 R value. Admittedly, this is the regular mummy and realistically too small for me, but please remember when watching this that I am 6'4" and I always require anything to be as large as possible. That's what she said. And people can't always gauge a size on camera, so to demonstrate, here's a picture of me with my normal size work colleagues to give you an idea of the pain I go through trying to fit inside a tent. Now, in addition to this winter mat, they are also bringing out a 3.5 R value version with the pump included. So for summer use, or depending upon whether you are in a warmer climate and you don't really need to go for a full 9.5 R value sleep mat. So here's 5 reasons why I think you'll want this pad. This not only has an R value of 9.5, but it is an ASTM verified value of 9.5 as well. Now, those of you out there who don't know, ASTM is the official governing body or rating that they use for insulation within sleep pads. And there's plenty of other manufacturers out there that don't use ASTM for it. So they rate their pads without any real official backing. This is the highest R-rated pad that I can find on the market. And in theory, should see you down to the absolute lowest temperatures. This is the only sleep pad on the market to use a built-in tiny electric pump for inflation. So, 1, you're less likely to forget your pump. You don't have to faff about with little nozzles and making sure that you've got the right one, or accidentally bring the wrong nozzle with you. And yes, I've done that. You simply press a button and in around 50 seconds it's inflated. It's powered by a new air vortex system, which is also, from what I can tell, much quieter than other pumps. That is probably because the pump is entirely enclosed within the mat, except for the intake valve. It is an incredibly light mat. Even comparing it against those with much lower R values, this comes out lighter. So this weighs only 511 grams on my scales, including the pump. And the pack size is tiny, especially in comparison to a lot of even lower R rated pads. I have tried this at home and it is incredibly comfortable. It reminds me of an old favourite budget mat of mine called the Unigear Comfy P3. Now, I use that a lot and it's incredibly comfortable. It doesn't use your normal baffle systems. The Flextail R09 is very firm, very thick, and it does not bottom out. It's got more of a sort of a dimpled design rather than your baffles straight down or baffles straight across that a lot of mats have. And it feels more supportive because of that. Now, a bit like your bed at home. I mean, we pay more for a pocket sprung bed because they're individual pockets and they're more comfortable and they're more expensive. So we don't buy a bed that's got baffles going down it or baffles going across it. So realistically, it's a shortcut, easy way for manufacturers to make a mat. This is going on sale today and has, at the time of launch on Indigo, got a super early bird starting price of $149. Now, when those first ones are sold out, they will go on to the normal early bird price, but that is still only $159. So for $159 or $149, you can get yourself a 9.5R mat, the highest rated mat on the market. To put that into perspective, my X-Therm cost around £230 and is a 6.9R, so it doesn't come with an electric pump either. So these are my reasons why I think you should buy this mat. Well, let's show you it now. So first off, let's talk about sizes. As I said before, this is the regular mummy, and that's popular with a lot of people and has an inflated size of 183 centimeters by 52 centimeters by 9 centimeters. This is it packed against my Neo Air X-Therm, albeit the large version. The large square version of the R09 mat from Flextail is 195 centimeters by 65 centimeters by 9 centimeters. So once I get it, it will definitely fit me on it. To inflate the mat, you simply slide this button and let it do its thing. Around 50 seconds later, it's not only inflated, but it's fully inflated. I've found that when using electric pumps, I always have to top them up to make them firm enough using a couple of breaths, but not this one. Now, for those wondering about battery life, I don't have any official information from Flextail, so I have inflated the pad fully from totally empty 10 times, and the pump never slowed at all, and still took, even on the 10th inflation, around 50 seconds to inflate. The way I see it, that is more than enough for any battery when you're going camping. The pump is removable, either for storage in your pack whilst travelling or charging, but it can also just be left inside the mat when you roll it up. When charging, there is a red light and a green light to show when it is full or needs charging, and it simply slides into a slot in the pad so it marries up with the inflation port every single time. Now, to deflate, you can either use the massive dump valve, which does the job on its own and fully deflates the mat completely, or if you're in a real rush, then you can turn the pump around, which then sucks the air back out of it. Now, the pump on its own weighs just 34 grams. So if you're one of these people who likes to cut a toothbrush in half and shave some of the bristles off to save 2 grams, then you can leave it at home and just use the normal inflation valve to blow it up. Now, that valve also serves as a secondary inflation method should the pump fail or the battery die. So if you're away for more than 10 nights, 2 weeks or whatever, you can still blow it up. Right, so let's time it. Now, obviously the larger version will take longer and use more battery up, but I still reckon you get 10 inflations out of it at least. And I'll let this inflate in real time, so make a note of the seconds on the screen and then you can see how long it takes. Okay, that's done, and it is nice and firm. That's solid. So I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to lay on it and I'll show you what it's like. Now, please remember that this is a regular mummy mat and I am not a regular mummy. Now, I'm on a folding foam mat simply because I've just got a very thin 10D ground sheet down, so what I don't want is any punctures coming through and ruining my new mat. But to give you an indication, I weigh 16 stone. I've got zero fat on my backside. It is as bony as my elbows. But sitting here, I do not bottom out, and that's quite rare on the majority of pads. So it is very firm. As I said, this is not my size. It is small, so it's only 50 centimeters wide. So this is going to be one of those mats where, if you want to go ultralight, this is going to suit you. But my arms fall off the side. It's not long enough for me, but that is me. So the mat itself, though, is incredibly comfortable, very supportive in my lower back. It doesn't sort of sag in the middle. I generally tend to side sleep, or I go to sleep on my side, wake up on my back. But side sleeping, my hips don't go into the ground, they're nowhere near it actually. It is really, really supportive, very supportive. And it doesn't really crinkle. This has got a 5-layered aluminized system inside it, which is what gives it the 9.5R value. But it's not like a packet of crisps. The only real noise you can hear is the actual crumpling of the material itself. So it's not noisy. Now, I haven't used a mummy-shaped pad for many years, and there's a few reasons behind it. One is the size. I just prefer a wider, squarer, longer mat. The other is the pillows that I've used have always had straps across the back of them, so they strap around the pad and they don't come off at night time. There's nothing worse constantly waking up because your pillow's popped off the top of your mat. So the downside to most mummy mats is they tend to be angled across here, so they go up into a point. This is pretty much square up until about 2 or 3 inches below the top, and then it sharp angles in and across. So the ones that have the angle starting from here and going around, when you put a sleep pad on it with a strap, that strap would start to loosen and it would physically be forced off the mat. So any kind of movement, your shoulder touches it, ping, your pillow is gone, which is a major pain. But this, if you look at where the strap is on here, if I put this on the mat, it's a bit lower down than it would be, I can bring it right up to here. So the pillow is right at the top of the mat and it's still not past the tapered section. So this is not going to just ping off in the night, which is a much better design. So am I being a hypocrite here? If you don't know already, I did a review on the Flextail Zero pump and I said it was pointless. A few others have said the same thing since, but some people still like it. And let's face it, we're all different, and that's fine. You know, it was my thoughts and my personal preferences, but if I don't like something, I'll say it, and I'll also give my rationale behind it. Some will agree, and some won't. Nice life. My issue was that the Flextail Tiny 2X pump not only did the same job, but did it better. It was cheaper, and it performed as a lantern as well, meaning you didn't have to bring a light for your tent, thus removing the weight-saving benefit of the Pump Zero. And because of that, I've never used the Pump Zero once. So here I am saying, buy a mat with a pump in it that doesn't have a lantern. Yes, and hands up, that does sound hypocritical to me. But this pump only weighs 34 grams. Combine that with the pad, it then has a total weight of 511 grams, plus the size, the tiny pack size, a market-leading R value, and combined with a very affordable price, then personally, I can forgive the fact that the pump doesn't double as a lantern, and I'll just use my black dog instead. Not that black dog, this black dog. It only weighs 70 grams. It's fine. So use my link in the description to take you straight to the page and get yourself the most innovative piece of camping equipment in 2025.